How's it going? This is Max. I did a video just the other day talking about building audiences within LinkedIn to remarket to existing traffic coming into your website, people that have engaged with you with your company profile, maybe watched videos of yours or whatever else, as a really nice entry point to try out some LinkedIn ads on a business when you're maybe only wanting to spend £500 to £1,000, but you're already getting a good amount of traffic into your website for one reason or another. Like maybe you've got a lot of SEO traffic, or doing ads elsewhere, or whatever else it might be. And so this is a kind of entry-level point. And in that video, which I'll link to in here as a kind of part one, this was building the audiences. But this time I'm going to focus on the actual campaign itself. So I'm going to give you the simplest type of campaign that you might create. You can do 1,000 different ways of doing this, but I'm going to give you a really simple version so that you can actually go ahead and set up this remarketing for yourself. If you get stuck, just get in touch with me and we can talk it through, and I'll get you unstuck. But so firstly, I've gone into LinkedIn Ads, Campaign Manager, of course. I've gone to, it says no campaign group selected. So I'm going to just quickly select, I'm going to just say it's the remarketing one. And then we're going to go through to next. We're going to call this, let's call it Nice Day Stack, because I think that's what I set the audiences at, if I remember rightly. And then you're going to be setting the objective. So generally speaking, I would generally be suggesting you should focus on website conversions or lead generation. Lead generation is the LinkedIn forms within LinkedIn, so you might click an image and then it shows you a form inside LinkedIn. So if your website's a bit crap, that's a great place to go. Website conversions is any time where you're trying to send someone to your website and get them to fill out some kind of a form or book all or just anything. And then there's website visits, engagement, video views. Obviously video views, and these can be good. They're good for cold more often when you're trying to just build up audiences within LinkedIn that you can then remarket to. So you could, for example, do video views for the top of funnel, and then you could do lead generation or website conversions for the remarketing. We often generally do lead generation a lot of the time for a lot of different campaigns because we just love those lead gen forms, but we also do a lot of website conversions. In this particular case, if you're just trying to make it as simple as humanly possible, this is remarketing. So this is going to be a small list of people already interested in you. So I'm going to go with just actually trying to get as many of those people to come back to your website as possible. That's what I'm going to focus on.
Please come back.
And then we're going to come down to audiences, and then this is where you're going to select the audiences that you've already created. So these are some saved ones that we did. There's actually one and we already saved it as, but I'm going to do it slightly differently. We're going to go down to, we're going to first just check the location. So that is the UK. If we click into here and we change locations recent or permanent to just permanent location, you can see that's already reduced it. So not just people that are visiting the UK, but people that are going elsewhere. I'm going to put the US in as well, just to, as that is a big country that we manage to. Let's put Canada in as well. You'd obviously just put whichever countries you look after. You don't need to do any exclusions on there really. That one part is generally actually okay. So you always want to untick enable audience expansion. This is basically just like, let's ignore all the targeting you did and just whack in whatever else. Then you can do other narrowing down. We'll get to that in a second.
Hold your horses.
Let's do narrow first. And then what you do is you go into audiences, retargeting, and this will be where all of your various audiences are that we set up in the previous video. So we can go to website, we can just do, let's just say all site traffic SC 90 days, and then go click on retargeting, and then you could do videos, all video views. So let's just say 90 days, back to retargeting, company page, all company page visitors in the last 90 days. And you can also do things like lead gen forms, people that have opened the form, including the submits. So then this is your kind of combined audience. Currently it says 5,700. This is a test account, so don't worry too much about the numbers, but this could be the kind of thing that you're going to set up. So this is the stack of audiences now, but then you do still want to exclude. So the first thing we're going to be doing is retargeting submitted lead gen forms. So basically, if somebody's already submitted a form to speak to us, we should not be doing more remarketing at those people. There is cases where you might do that because you want to chase them to go ahead and actually then book the call with you or go ahead on the sale or other things like that. But in this case, I'm going to put that there. And then you can also, if we say narrow down further, and then we're going to do some other quite standard blocks. So things like, let's go audience attributes. Probably the simplest ones you could do would be things like job experience, job seniority, and we're going to exclude any of these low-level people because they're not cool. So we're going to just remove all of the people that don't have money or the ability to pay. So it doesn't like me right now because I'm making it too small. I'm going to just assume that everything's fine. But if you have much larger audiences than this, then you can do much more nuanced things and exclude things like the industry, the functions, the seniorities that are clearly not relevant still to the people that you want to be running ads towards. And then you can pick the ad format. So of course, this is just what kind of creatives you have. There's lots of variety available to you. The most common ones you would be using would be image, carousel, or video. But there's lots of really interesting stuff you can do with LinkedIn, which I think is underrated. Text ads, for example, is a great, really cheap remarketing option, but I'm not going to go into that today. If you'd be interested in me doing a video about some extremely cheap text ad remarketing, then let me know and I can do that. Then we've got, let's just say as a really simple example, today we're going to do single image. Actually, let's do video because I know that I've got some videos ready. And then LinkedIn, of course, we're going to be on that, but we want to untick the audience network. You pretty much always untick that. I don't think there's going to be really a situation you wouldn't. Set your budget. There's generally some kind of a minimum in each country. Let's just try putting 5, for example. There you go, £8 currently, LinkedIn says. So 8 times 30 roughly, so that's £240 a day for this particular campaign. So this would be the smallest that you could technically do. Landing page clicks, we've left as that, that's fine. Maximum delivery, there is some stuff down here sometimes if you want to be fancy, but for now, let's keep it simple. Set your various conversion goals. So we have all of these different goals that we track personally. Then hit next, save. And then I'm going to just grab some existing ads just for the sake of making it easy for us. So this is where you're going to want to come up with, of course, a big variety. So come up with between 4 to 8 different ads. These could be, you know, just differing. Just the biggest thing I talk about when it comes to the type of ads, the actual creative itself and the copy, etc., is that you want to make sure that they are different. So for example, here we have a video testimonial from a client of ours talking about how happy he is with us. Here we have a kind of funny background image of a snowball coming with a really nice quote of someone working with our agency. And then these ones are more me talking to camera, talking to you as an individual about, you know, why you should work with us. So come up with a nice variety. Those are very different types of videos. So the broader the variety, the more likely we are to be able to find a big winner. So I'm going to hit sponsor. Then we're going to hit so you can see all of your ads are ready. They say in draft. An important one which I always struggle to remember is this button here, ads in this campaign, ad rotation options. Select how to rotate your ad variations to test performance over time and optimize your campaign. There are 2 options. So you can either optimize for performance or evenly. So obviously this sounds correct and they tell you it's recommended, but the answer is that LinkedIn is not very good in this particular area at optimizing for you. So let's just say we've got these 5 videos in this case. Hub a testimonial versus my SaaS one, for example. Often what happens is it looks at the click-through rate or the engagement rate, the initial metrics of someone engaging with that content, and then it tries to decide which is the winner within only a day or 2. But ultimately, a click-through rate or the cost per click are not necessarily the most important thing. For example, maybe the Hub a testimonial is, I don't know, a much more attractive video to engage with because it's a kind of more of a story, and so that one has a lower cost per click and a higher click-through rate because it's just more engaging, maybe because people are nicer there. But then maybe this don't accept mediocrity is a bit more divisive. Maybe like some people don't like it when I say this and people don't like me or something, and so the click-through rate and the cost per click is higher, but maybe this signals better to the people that are genuinely looking for a paid ads agency in this moment, and so this gets us more actual inquiries, which takes much longer to see that data. So it takes weeks to even a month or 2 to discover which one of these will get us actual customers from these ads. And so if you let LinkedIn optimize for performance, it will just stop spending anything on, for example, this one, if it did what I just talked about, and it'll put all of the money into this one when it could have actually been that this was the one that would do better for you. So to make it that LinkedIn does not do that, we switch to rotate ads evenly. So we're going to be spending our budget that we set of £8 per day evenly across all 5 of these, and then after a week or 2 or month maybe, we'll be able to see which was the real winner, and then you as a human come in and turn off the losers, and then you test something new against the winner.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
That's the process that you should be following. Let's hit next. And then here we're literally just reviewing everything. You want to make sure you're happy. And then I'm going to hit launch. And then I'm not going to hit launch. Because I don't want to launch this. But you can see how simple that is. You need to obviously come up with the creative. My agency does creative, so if you're curious about speaking to me with Snowball Studios, where we create images and videos a lot of the time for LinkedIn especially, actually, because it's an area that people haven't built out in their own business yet quite often, then we're happy to help there. Or if you have other questions, let me know. This is a really, really dumb kind of simple version, but this can do really well for you. That kind of combination of people visiting your website, company engaged, watched your videos, and maybe open forms that you've already done within LinkedIn. That can do really well for you, and I'd recommend giving it a go. Even if it's only with £300, £500, you can get this set up for yourself. There's lots of other things that you need to do to make this happen, like the insight tag being added to your website, etc. But if you've done those things, this is a great entry point, and I hope this video has helped. I do these videos every single week. We're trying to do a lot more than that soon, actually, and I'm really enjoying that this channel actually has some subscribers now. I have 600, I think, as of filming this, so hopefully you'll become one of them. And otherwise, yeah, I'll get to see you in the next one.